Mr. Villard, I was quite surprised when I actually read a couple of months ago that both Revolt's factory and also your factory, Goodyear Dunlop, rank very high in their international network. For some reason, when the chief executives come from Renault, they always say, "Oh, this is one of our best, if even not the best factory we have around the world." And you also are pretty proud about your factory being one of the highest in your system. Why do you think those factories in Slovenia rank so high in the international chain of factories?
It works, yeah. In our case, as far as Goodyear Dunlop is concerned, I think the major success factors was investment. Actually, when we started to acquire Sava back in 1997, and since that time we have invested almost 200 million euros in the factories. Initially, this factory was was producing something like 3.5 million tires, to give you a number. And most of those tires were actually kind of low end of the industry. And with this 200 million euros investment, actually we've been able to transform this manufacturing entity into a state-of-the-art company producing not only high-quality tires for like the Range Rover Evoque, as I've seen outside. It's not all Goodyear, by the way, I need to talk to you. But and on top of it, to increase the productivity, now this company is producing almost a double that it used to produce in the past. So for me, there is no miracle. It's just about investment in terms of manufacturing, in terms of people, in terms of training. Now I'm very proud to say that this Goodyear Dunlop Sava Tires company is ranked among the top 2 or top 3 manufacturing companies in Europe.
Why would that be, though? Why do you think, labor is pretty expensive compared to some other countries. You said very good education, you said investments, but you can also invest in other countries. What do you think are also maybe the subjective or other factors that make it so successful?
I think this debate around the cost of labor is, for me, is a little bit wrong. I think if we were looking for the cheapest labor, probably we will all move to Africa. And I think we don't do it. And if we don't do it, there must be a reason. And I think it's, what I said is, I believe that, yes, cost is important, but it's more the value for the cost. In other words, when you look at as you said, the qualification of the workforce, the level of the people, the education in Slovenia, and you see how much you can get out of the people, and at the cost, which is the Slovenian cost, actually, at the end of the day, it's probably much more attractive for a company to invest in Slovenia. By the way, yesterday I was reading an article from, I don't remember which newspapers, but it was not Slovenian, because I don't read Slovenian. But the guy was saying that most of the automotive manufacturers, and they were giving the name of General Motors, actually now they are thinking about moving the production from China back to Eastern Europe. Why? Because actually the cost of labor in China is increasing 20% year on year. So the attractiveness of China is decreasing. And at the same time, the cost of transportation, although, okay, China is a big market, but Europe is still a big market. And now people are looking at transferring some of this production to Eastern Europe, where there is a good compromise between the cost and, let's say, the proximity with the biggest market that we have in Western Europe, for instance. I said before that Slovenia is a paradise, and I think probably Slovenia is a paradise island. And all like islands, it's difficult to get in and it's difficult to get out. And I think definitively we have this mobility issue in Slovenia. We have people who love their countries, and we really are difficult to convince to get out of Slovenia. However, I would say, like Agata was saying, it's changing a little bit. I think some people have been leading by example. I think it's a timing issue in the sense that you have been people who've been working in Slovenia forever. And some of them now moved to headquarters, have been basically developing their skills, and they're coming back to Slovenia with leadership position. And I think that kind of example will probably change the mind of the people. But definitively, comparing to Romania, it's night and day. For me, I would try to summarize it saying that Slovenia must become a country easy to do business with. And I think they mentioned the taxation, we mentioned incentives for investment, we mentioned mobility, but I think overall I'm quite optimistic. I think I can see some of the thing changes. I can see some, at least, statements from the government about incentive and so on. So I think it's going in the right direction. Now it's a matter of time, because at some point of time people will invest in Eastern Europe probably more than we think, and we need to be the first on the shelf, the first on the league. Otherwise, they will invest elsewhere.